Good morning, my miracle friends. Lesson 135 from A Course in Miracles. If I defend myself, I am attacked. If I defend myself, I am attacked. Who would defend himself unless he thought he were attacked? That the attack were real and that his own defences could save him. And herein lies the folly of defence. It gives illusions full of reality and then attempts to handle them as real. It adds illusions to illusions, thus making correction doubly difficult. And it is this you do when you attempt to plan the future, activate the past, or organise the present as you wish. You operate from the belief you must protect yourself from what is happening, because it must contain what threatens you. A sense of threat is an acknowledgement of an inherent weakness, a belief that there is danger which has power to call on you to make appropriate defence. The world is based on this insane belief, and all its structures, all its thoughts and doubts, its penalties and heavy armaments, its legal definitions and its codes, its ethics and its leaders and its gods, all serve but to preserve its sense of threat. For no one walks the world in armature, but must have terror striking in his heart. Ooh, one moment, please. For no one walks the world in armature, but must have terror striking in at his heart. Defence is frightening. It stems from fear, increasing fear as each defence is made. You think it offers safety, yet it speaks of fear made real and terror justified. It is not strange. Is it not strange you do not pause to ask as you elaborate your plans and make your armour thicker and your locks more tight, what you defend and how and against what? Let us consider first what you defend. It must be something that is very weak and easily assaulted. It must be something made easy prey, unable to protect itself and needing your defence. What but the body has such frailty that constant care and watchful, deep concern are needful to protect its little life? But what but the body falters and must fail to serve the Son of God as worthy host? Yet it is not the body that can fear, nor be a thing of fear. It has no needs but those which you assign it. It needs no complicated structure of defence, no health-inducing medicine, no care, and no concern at all. Defend its life or give it gifts to make it beautiful or walls to make it safe, and you but say your home is open to the thief of time, corruptible and crumbling, so unsafe, it must be guarded with your very life. Is not this picture fearful? Can you be at peace with such a concept of your home? Yet what endowed the body with the right to serve you thus except your own belief? It is your mind which gave the body all the functions that you see in it, and set its value far beyond a little piece of dust and water. Who would make defence of something that he recognised as this? The body is in need of no defence. This cannot be too often emphasised. It will be strong and healthy if the mind does not abuse it by assigning it to roles it cannot fill, to purposes beyond its scope, and to exalted aims which it cannot accomplish. Such attempts, ridiculous, yet deeply cherished, are the sources for the many mad attacks you make upon it, for it seems to fail your hopes, your needs, your values, and your dreams. The self that needs protection is not real. The body, valueless and hardly worth the least defence, need merely be perceived as quite apart from you, and it becomes a healthy, serviceable instrument through which the mind can operate until its usefulness is over. Who would want to keep it when its usefulness is done? Defend the body and you have attacked your mind, for you have seen it. In it, the faults, the weaknesses, the limits, and the lacks from which you think the body must be saved. You will not see the mind as separate from bodily conditions, and you will impose upon the body all the pain that comes from the conception of the mind as limited and fragile, and apart from other minds, and separate from its source. These are the thoughts in need of healing, and the body will respond with health when they have been corrected and replaced with the truth. This is the body's only real defence. Yet, is this where you look for its defence? You offer it protection of a kind from which it gains no benefit at all, but merely adds to your distress of mind. You do not heal, but merely take away the hope of healing, for you fail to see where hope must lie if it be meaningful. Wow, this is quite a long one. Brace yourselves. I'm just going to have a little sip of coffee because I think we've got quite a lot more to read. So, a healed mind does not plan. Wow. A healed mind does not plan. It carries out the plans that it receives through listening to wisdom that is not its own. It waits until it has been taught what should be done and then proceeds to do it. It does not depend upon itself for anything except its adequacy to fulfill the plan assigned to it. It is secure in certainty that obstacles cannot impede its progress to accomplishment of any goal that serves the greater plan established for the good of everyone. A healed mind is relieved of the belief that it must plan. Although it cannot know the outcome which is best, the means by which it is achieved, nor how to reorganize the problem that the plan is made to solve. It must misuse the body in its plans until it recognizes this is so. But when it has accepted this as true, then is it healed and lets the body go. Enslavement of the body to the plans the unhealed mind sets up to save itself must make the body sick. It is not free to be the means of helping in a plan which far exceeds its own protection and which needs its service for a little while. In this capacity is help assured, for everything the mind employs for this will function flawlessly and with the strength that has been given it and cannot fail. It is perhaps not easy to perceive that self-initiated plans are but defences with the purpose all of them were made to realise. They are the means by which a frightened mind would undertake its own protection at the cost of truth. This is not difficult to realise in some forms which these self-deceptions take, where the denial of reality is very obvious, yet planning is not often recognised as a defence. The mind engaged in planning for itself is occupied in setting up control of future happenings. It does not think that it will be provided for unless it makes its own provisions. Time becomes a future emphasis to be controlled by learning and experience obtained from past events and previous beliefs. It overlooks the present, for it rests on the idea the past has taught enough to let the mind direct its future course. The mind that plans is thus refusing to allow for change. What it has learnt before becomes the basis for its future goals. Its past experience directs its choice for what will happen, and it does not see that here and now is everything it needs to guarantee a future quite unlike the past, without a continuity of any old beliefs and sick beliefs and sick ideas. Anticipation plays no part at all, for present confidence directs the way. Defences are the plans you undertake to make against the truth. Their aim is to select what you approve and disregard what you consider incompatible with your beliefs of your reality. Yet what remains is meaningless indeed, for it is your reality that is the threat, which your defences would attack, obscure, and take apart and crucify. What could you not accept if you but knew that everything that happens, all events, past, present, and to come, are gently planned by one whose only purpose is your good? Perhaps you have misunderstood his plan, for he would never offer pain to you, but your defences did not let you see his loving blessing shine in every step you ever took. While you made plans for death, he led you gently to eternal life. Your present trust in him is the defence that promises a future undisturbed, without a trace of sorrow, and with the joy that constantly increases as this life becomes a holy instant set in time, but heeding only immortality. Let no defences but your present trust direct the future, and this life becomes a meaningful encounter with the truth that only your defences would conceal. Without defences, you become a light, which heaven gratefully acknowledges to be its own, and it will lead you on in ways appointed for your happiness according to the ancient plan, begun when time was born. Your followers will join their light with yours, and it will be increased until the world is lightened up with joy, and gladly will our brothers lay aside their cumbersome defences, which availed them nothing and could only terrify. We will anticipate that time today with present confidence, for this is part of what was planned for us. We will be sure that everything we need is given us from our accomplishment of this today. We make no plans for how it will be done, but realise that our defencelessness is all that is required for the truth to dawn upon our minds with certainty. For 15 minutes twice today, we rest from senseless planning and from every thought that blocks the truth from entering our minds. Today we will receive instead of plan. We will receive instead of plan, that we may give instead of organise, and we are given truly as we say. If I defend myself, I am attacked, but in defencelessness I will be strong, and I will learn what my defences hide. Nothing but that. If there are plans to make, you will be told of them. They may not be the plans you thought you needed, nor indeed the answers to the problems which you thought confronted you, but they are answers to another kind of question, which remains unanswered yet in need of answering until the answer comes to you at last. All your defences have been aimed at not receiving what you will receive today. And in the light and joy of simple trust, you will but wonder why you ever thought that you must be defended from release. Heaven asks nothing. It is hell that makes extravagant demands for sacrifice. You give up nothing in these times today when, undefended, you present yourself to your Creator as you really are. He has remembered you. Today we will remember Him. For this is Easter time in your salvation, and you rise again from what was seeming death and hopelessness. Now is the light of hope reborn in you, for now you come without defence to learn the part for you within the plan of God. What little plans or magical beliefs can still have value when you have received your function from the voice for God Himself. Try not to shape this day as you believe would benefit you most, for you cannot conceive of all the happiness that comes to you without your planning. Learn today, and all the world will take this giant stride and celebrate your Easter time with you. Throughout the day, as foolish little things appear to raise defensiveness in you and tempt you to engage in weaving plans, remind yourself this is a special day for learning and acknowledging it with this. This is my Easter time, and I would keep it holy. I will not defend myself, because the Son of God needs no defense against the truth of His reality. This is a very long lesson. So I'm just going to finish with, Beloved Divine, the perfect day all exists. Thank you for guiding me and everyone concerned to this. God before me and God behind me. God to the left of me and God to the right of me. God above me and God below me. God expressed through me. God emanate from me, touching everyone and everything in the form and the formless. Without too many plans today, where would you have me go today, God? What would you have me do today? What would you have me say or not say today, and to whom? This is actually a really amazing lesson, because we plan, because we feel like this protects us. Future, plan. And something I noticed as the trust develops and as the joy and lightheartedness develops, obviously you need a sketchy plan of how you think things are going to go, and you kind of follow that plan. But if you are totally open to changes in that plan, new information coming in, and then you just shapeshift into the new path, you are being guided the whole time. And another thing I noticed over the years is I don't need to read so much to know what I'm going to do for life. You know, like all these self-help books, read, more self-help books. I don't need to remember so much of my past experience to apply to today or to my future, because you just start channeling moment by moment what you need to do next, because it's so obvious what you need to do next when you're following what makes your heart sing, when you're listening to the download coming in from the divine. You know, lots of people say to me, I can't remember anything. You don't need to remember anything. You don't need that hard drive of all of that past programming coming in. You just need to be spontaneously, radically accepting everything right now and bringing in the highest level of love, compassion and forgiveness and light into that situation. However it is presenting itself, your only purpose is to bring the channeled version, your higher self, into this situation. And one of the reasons why this video is so late today is exactly that was unfolding in the last 27 hours. We were stuck at the airport in Brest, in the north of France, for 27 hours, being drip-fed information about our flight. It'll be coming in an hour, it'll be 2 hours, it'll be 3 hours. 27 hours later, so many miracles happened in that time. And it was literally in our defenselessness, without getting angry, without getting cross, with total radical acceptance for the next delay, the next excuse, I mean, there was just a catalogue of chaos with 7 different planes that had one thing or another that happened to them, including, I shouldn't laugh, but the first plane went down in Milan because somebody ran into the plane and got sucked into the engine. Somebody committing suicide, God rest his soul. What a way to die, running to a taxiing plane and getting sucked into the engine. So that was the first plane that went down. Then some birds ruined the engine of another one, and then a lorry went into the back of another one, and then there was a fire in Marseille, which meant another one couldn't go. Anyway, so it went on and so it went on. But in that time, no amount of planning for the future would have worked, because it just kept changing on a minute-by-minute basis. But what happened? There was an amazing number of lovely people who decided to take the light path, you know? No point in complaining to anyone. This is, some crazy stuff was going on. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, when you're losing hope and you're lying on a awful metal bench and you've just been woken up because your sweet husband is snoring next to you and some youngsters are now playing that football table machine really loud, and you think, for actual fuck's sake, I just need some sleep. But instead of being cross, I was sending love to them. Sending love. I start wandering around the airport thinking, okay, I'm just going to go to a vending machine and get some chocolate because I don't know what else to do. And then those sweet boys come and talk to me and say, oh, sorry, did we wake you up? And I'm like, no, it's fine, boys. And they said, did you know there's some beds upstairs? The fire brigade, the Brest Fire Brigade, Les Pompiers, have arrived with camp beds for everybody, and they're all being set up in the offices in the airport. I'm like, what? So I go upstairs, and the sweetest, kindest firemen are making camp beds for us all and giving us all blankets and opening up the offices. And so we end up sleeping in a sort of dormitory in the office, which I find amazing. And then they give us vouchers the next day for a big breakfast, and there was just so much fun going on, even though I'm exhausted. And I didn't make this video because I thought I was going to make it yesterday, but I didn't, because all my plans went to pot, which is exactly the point of this lesson in my defenselessness. The plans come through. So here I am with tiny little eyes, with a coffee to keep me going. Spent way too much time recording this, and it's going to be very late. So what? Here we are. Love you. I don't know if you can see that. Have an amazing day, and thanks for listening, for anyone that got this far.